Okay, so these are my opinions on the press conference that Teresa had regarding the death of her daughter, Kenneka Jenkins. And Chasing Truth brought up a very good point that the two locks were completely different. If I show you the two locks, they are completely different. This is the lock that was shown in the original, in the lawyer's picture that he had received through Teresa's brother. A picture that he had taken after her body obviously had been found of a freezer. He uses it in the press conference as if this is the freezer, if you listen quickly. But I will explain by the language that he uses. Maybe he's not meaning that. I'm not sure why he would use this picture. I still am confused. I'm as confused as Chasing Truth. She like I said, she did she has the press conference up if you want to go and see that, and she also has some videos up where she's stating her opinions, and this is the reason why I'm doing my video. So if it wasn't for her putting up those videos, I wouldn't be doing this video. Okay, so please go and check those out. And this is the lock that the lawyer shows in the press conference. This is the lock that is on the freezer that she was found in, well, the cooler that leads to the freezer. So no, these are two different locks. And the freezer, the actual freezer, this is the cooler door. The actual freezer door is the same lock. The interesting thing is that it does have a hole at the top. Pay attention to that. And then if you look back at this, you see what he's saying, where he says, this is a lock that you push and it locks it. And obviously you can release the lock to open it. That's what he is trying to explain. So just keep these two images in mind and keep the lock in mind, okay? Where I think this picture was taken, okay, is outside of the kitchen, outside of the kosher kitchen, before you walk in where the wooden doors are. Okay, this is a picture that Teresa's brother took after her body was found. Pay attention to the fact that there is a zip tie and a lock on this door. When the videography of this area was taken, okay, if we zoom over to the right, you see there's no lock on the door. This is a couple of days, if I'm not wrong, after they left the crime scene. You can still see the light on. I don't know why the light is always kept on. There could be a genuine reason for that. Obviously, he has had to video this area, but you can see there's no lock on the door. Maybe the lock was taken off so they could enter, but then there's a zip tie on it. Wouldn't you just put the lock back on? The lock was put on top of this zip tie, and as if no one had gone into this area. Anyway, if you go back, you can see this door here. Now, I believe this door, look at the window and look at the handle, okay? I believe that this is the place where he took the picture. He took the picture of this door, and then he took a picture of this door, because the handle's the same and the window's also present. So I don't understand why the lawyer is using... It makes sense because it's other pieces of evidence, possibly, but I don't understand why he's using that as evidence to show as the door that Kenneka walked through and was locked in. Now, let me explain it in this way. Could it be that he's just trying to call people's bluff in some type of way, lawyer tactics? But listen to how he speaks. I'm going to play the part where he speaks. I'm going to come back afterwards and then explain what I mean by how he spoke and how he's not actually saying that this is the door that Kenneka was locked in. He's using a door as an example to try and show us the lock on the door. The door's different and the lock's different. So it sounds like a reach to me to try and use it as evidence. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really say these things 100%. But just from my perspective, I agree with Chasing Truth. I don't understand why he's used this as evidence in the case when there are original pictures to use as evidence. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll play how he's that part of how he speaks, and then I'll come back afterwards.
These photographs, first of all, show this is the construction site into the kitchen, and this was taken after her body was found, but there's clearly the ability to lock the entire kitchen off, and this was taken by a member of the family. However, what's most concerning also is that the freezer door has a lock on it. This is a lock that you can prevent somebody from the inside from getting out if it's pressed. And we believe that it's very possible that this door, for reasons that we cannot explain, without ever looking in the freezer, someone came and locked this freezer door so that Kenneka could not exit the door. These photographs, first of all, show this is the construction site into the kitchen.
Notice he says these photos. He doesn't mention that they are from the evidence that was within the case. I still don't understand why, but he does go on to explain that he's using this door with the padlock on it to explain that, well, to prove that this should have been locked up and should have been out of bounds, and the padlock proves that it is capable of being locked. The door is capable of being locked. So because they're fighting a lawsuit for negligence, it's very important to prove that this area could have been locked and should have been locked. So what I want you to also think about is the fact that he's using this picture, this image that was taken by Teresa Martin's brother after her body was found, to give an example of the fact that it should be locked. And what I think is the other picture is just another door within the Crown Plaza or the freezer, like I said, right next to this door, as you saw in the video that I showed. I believe it's that door, and he's just using it as an example. But what he's doing is he's manipulating his words a little bit, and he is trying to, as a lawyer would, they want to influence you. They want to, in a way, manipulate your mind to see their perspective and believe what they are saying. So listen to the next bit and I'll explain.
This was taken after her body was found, but there's clearly the ability to lock the entire kitchen off, and this was taken by a member of the family.
Okay, so he's using it as an example to prove that there was negligence involved. Why was this door not padlocked as it is here? Okay.
However, what's most concerning also is that the freezer door, in the images that he has, the freezer door is not actually clarifying that this is the freezer that Kenneka Jenkins walked into. He says the freezer door has a lock on it. This is a lock that you can prevent somebody from the inside from getting out.
Okay, so it says this is the freezer door where it has a lock where it will prevent someone from getting out from the inside. Okay, so he's a lawyer. He knows how to speak. He's trained in influencing you into believing him. Okay, so what he says is this door. He doesn't actually say this is the freezer. Okay, so he's not lying. He says this door, okay, and then explains that this lock that's on it will prevent you from getting out. Listen to what he says next.
Pressed. And we believe that it's very possible that this door, for reasons that we cannot explain, without ever looking in the freezer, someone came and locked this freezer door.
Okay, so he says this door, as in this particular door, but then he mixes that with this door, meaning the door that Kenneka Jenkins walked through. And what that is for is it's to manipulate you in, I don't know whether it's a good or bad thing, but he's a lawyer. This is what lawyers do. This is what they're there for. This is the whole point, okay? So what it is he's subconsciously slipping it into your minds that this is what happened to the same door that Kenneka Jenkins walked in. Okay, he's a lawyer. This is, like I said, this is what they do. So he said this door, as in this particular door, and then he says this door, as in the door Kenneka Jenkins walked in, but he still hasn't clarified it properly. It's a very smart way to influence people, and a smart way for a lawyer to influence people. I don't know whether this is a tactic to pull some information out somehow with this lawsuit. I don't understand it, but I don't know why he wouldn't just bring out the evidence pictures that were originally there. There's enough evidence there to prove, okay? Maybe it's because of the case being as vibrant as it was, where the pictures were out all over the place. But I don't know. But that was my explanation for this. Have a look at it yourself. Think for yourself. And put your opinions below and tell me what you think.